Are you thinking about moving to Edmonton in 2025? Well, before you pack your bags and brave our winters, there are just a few things that you have to know. From the real cost of living and where to live, to the truth about our winters. And yes, it really does get that cold. In this video, I'm going to break down the top 10 things that nobody tells you about moving here. And by the end of this video, you will know whether Edmonton is the right place for you or if you should keep Googling somewhere warmer. Now roll that intro. Hey, my name is Allan Dignard, and I'm a local realtor here in the city of Edmonton, and I've lived in Edmonton and the surrounding communities for over 45 years. And if you are planning to buy, sell, invest, or relocate here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. So let's get into number one, the cost of living and housing. We gotta start with the big one. Money. The average residential sale price in Edmonton this summer was about $461,000, up roughly 6% year over year. And if you look at the home price index benchmark, that's sitting around $428,000. Detached homes are sitting in the mid to 500,000s. Townhomes are more affordable, and condos are still very attainable in the low to mid 200,000 range. And here's a perk for you. Alberta has no provincial sales tax. You still pay the federal 5% GST, but there's no extra PST or HST stacked on top like you see in Ontario or BC. So that means that everyday purchases from furniture, groceries, and even that first Costco haul when you first move here, they all cost less. What about property taxes? Edmonton's current residential mill rate is just over 1%. So on a $450,000 home, you're paying roughly about $4,500 a year. That's middle of the pack compared to other Canadian cities. If you're renting and dreaming of owning your own home and having your own yard or garage, this is where Edmonton shines. Your money goes a lot further here than say in Vancouver or Toronto or even Calgary. And yes, you can finally buy a house with a garage big enough to fit your truck and all of that patio furniture that you swore that you wouldn't buy but couldn't resist. So what would you do if you suddenly had more space, a garage, a yard, or even just an extra room? Drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear what you would do with all of that extra space. Number two is jobs and the economy. So let's talk work. Edmonton's unemployment rate is currently sitting at around 8.5% at the time of this recording, which is higher than the national average. That means if you're moving here without a job lined up, it's worth planning ahead. But don't let that scare you off. Sectors like healthcare, education, trades, logistics, and government are stable. Edmonton also has one of Canada's strongest industrial and distribution markets, and we're seeing real momentum in renewable energy and hydrogen projects. So if you've got skills in construction, healthcare, teaching, or tech, there's definitely an opportunity. And for families, that sense of stability, space, and affordability is what keeps people coming here to Edmonton. And if you're a hockey fan, hey, there's always a job opening for the Edmonton Oilers management because we're still chasing that Stanley Cup. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to number three, commute and transit. Commutes in Edmonton are surprisingly short compared to other bigger cities. About 2/3 of people get to work in under 30 minutes. For anyone relocating from places like Toronto or Vancouver, that's going to feel like winning the lottery. Our transit is also expanding too. The Valley Line Southeast LRT from Millwoods to downtown, that opened up in late 2023. The Valley Line West is under construction and It's set to open around 2028, and the Capital Line South extension is being built as we speak, heading further into Heritage Valley. So yes, we're still a car city, but transit is catching up, and that makes neighborhoods along these lines more attractive for the future. But just be warned, if you get stuck behind a snowplow on the Anthony Henday, your 20-minute drive can instantly turn into 45. So make sure you hit the bathroom before you leave and pack snacks. So what do you think? Short commute with the car, or would you prefer to live right on the new LRT line? Let me know in the comments below. That brings us to number 4, the neighborhood. So where should you live? If you want lifestyle, cafes, and walkability, check out Strathcona and Garneau, near White Avenue and the University of Alberta. If you want tree-lined streets and character homes, then Glenora and Crestwood are my top picks. If you're looking for newer builds and bigger shopping centers, then you're going to want to head south to Windermere or Heritage Valley. Families love the west side communities like Secord, Rosenthal, and Lewis Farms, especially with the new Valley Line West LRT coming very soon. So the bottom line, there's a neighborhood for every lifestyle, whether you are a downtown night owl or you want a quiet cul-de-sac for the kids. Speaking of kids, that brings us to number 5, schools and education. So parents, you will be glad to know that Edmonton has a strong school system. Edmonton Public Schools operates over 200 schools with about 120,000 students enrolled. Edmonton Catholic also has an extensive system. Plus, you'll also find French immersion and specialty programs. For higher education, the University of Alberta is ranked among the top 100 universities in the world, and it attracts students and researchers from all over, which adds a younger international energy to the city. And if you are a student, you will quickly learn how to budget for your textbooks and winter boots. Trust me, you're gonna need it. Speaking of winter boots, that brings us to number 6, weather. Let's be real, winters here are cold. The average January temperature is around -10 degrees Celsius, and we get about 123 centimeters of snow a year. So from October to April, you can expect to see snow on the ground at least a third of the time. But it's not all doom and gloom. Edmonton is one of Canada's sunniest big cities, and the fresh snow makes for gorgeous, gorgeous mornings. So once you gear up with a good coat, proper boots, and you have that command start for your vehicle, you will be fine. And hey, -30 isn't that bad if you're out fishing on the ice in your ice shanty. Okay, enough about me. What do you think? Would you embrace winter sports and festivals, or are you more of a stay cozy inside type? Let me know in the comments below. That brings us to number 7, the outdoor and the river valley. Here's the payoff. Edmonton is home to North America's largest stretch of urban parkland. The river valley has 160 kilometers of trails, perfect for biking, hiking, walking, exploring. In the summer, it feels like the city kind of just disappears when you're on the trails. So if fresh air and green space are important to you, this is where Edmonton absolutely delivers. Number 8, culture and festivals. Edmonton is called the Festival City for a reason. In August, the Fringe Festival takes over. It's the largest of its kind in North America. Earlier in the summer, you've got the Heritage Festival, which is the world's largest 3-day multicultural festival. And we can't forget about Klondike Days or K-Days in July. 10 days of rides, concerts, and midway food. Here's a pro tip for you. Pace yourself on the green onion cakes. Trust me, pace yourself. Number 9 is lifestyle and community. Edmonton has a mix of small town friendliness and big city amenities. You'll notice that people say hi when you're actually out walking your dog, and neighbors, they still shovel each other's sidewalks. And at the same time, You've got big malls like West Edmonton Mall, pro sports like the Oilers and the Elks, and concerts rolling through Rogers Place on the monthly. It's that balance that makes people stay in Edmonton once they've moved here. Edmonton is a place where you can build real connection. If you've lived in bigger cities when you barely know your neighbors, you probably will be surprised on how quickly people here in Edmonton make you feel welcome. There's also a growing food and coffee culture, an expanding nightlife, and also a steady stream of new restaurants opening up. And with such a diverse population, you'll experience cultural variety in both community life and events across this great city. If you are watching this from Edmonton right now, drop me a comment below. What do you love most about living here? And if you're not from here yet, let me know what kind of community vibe that you are hoping to find when you do move here. And that brings us to number 10, cost versus quality of life. This is where Edmonton really wins. You get affordable housing, shorter commutes, and room to essentially breathe. For many families, that means a better work-life balance. Compared to cities like Toronto or Vancouver, your dollar goes farther here, and your lifestyle feels less rushed. You can own a backyard big enough for barbecues, have space for your kids to play, and still get to work in under 30 minutes. That combination of affordability and quality of life is rare in Canada today. Another thing people don't always factor in is the amount of time that you get back. Less commuting, less financial stress, and more ability to enjoy your weekends out without feeling stretched thin. That's the kind of lifestyle change that often matters even more than the actual house itself. Plus, you can actually own a backyard big enough for a proper barbecue party, not just a balcony sitting there with 2 chairs. So let me know in the comments, if you had more time and space in your week, what would you do with it? Would you travel more, spend time with family, or maybe just finally relax? So let's recap some of the pros and cons. So is Edmonton right for you? Well, the pros: affordable homes compared to most Canadian cities, no provincial sales tax, the river valley and endless outdoor opportunities, strong schools and world-class universities, the transit expansion improving long-term. Here's some of the cons. Winters are long and cold. There's no sugarcoating it. Right now, the job market requires a bit more planning, with unemployment higher than the national average. It's still a car-centric city, so be ready to drive around. But if you can handle the winters and plan your move wisely, Edmonton offers a lifestyle and affordability that's truly tough to beat. So there you have it, the 10 things you must know before moving to Edmonton in 2025. If Edmonton sounds like the right fit for you, I've linked some helpful resources down in the description, including my free relocation guide. In there, I cover neighborhood breakdowns and the latest market updates. So make sure you go check that out when you're done here. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 10 things surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. I will respond personally, as it helps future movers learn from your questions as well. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button for more Edmonton content, and also share this with someone that you know who's actually thinking about moving here to Edmonton. I'm Allan, your local realtor, and just remember that your next move starts here.